All right, Scott, this is the video for how to update the brackets, update the reports. First thing, the laptop needs to be plugged in to the internet. It does not work on Wi-Fi. Second, there's a couple different options. If the computer pops up and it asks for a password, maybe the plug for the battery accidentally fell out. So you want to make sure to keep the power plugged in because the battery life on this thing is like 10 minutes. If it dies, just plug the power in and restart the computer. And the password for the login is Tex Oreo with a capital T. So if it's not open, the Turning Tracker, I would go here, click Turning Tracker. There's that familiar sound. Now, I have to say, because I set it up in not the proper way this year, we've had a few setbacks. One of them is, you know that report where you can see your own bracket and see how it's doing in bracket format? Well, we can't create that report. It doesn't let you manually upload it. It's ridiculous, but this is very old software, and so this year, unfortunately, that one report's not available. So it automatically defaults to selecting the top one, which is the most recent one. If you hovered over it, it would say 2014 pool. But we click open. Then on the top there, we go to edit, enter results. And this is obviously where you drag a team over, whoever wins, into the next spot. And once you're done updating the results, you click OK there on the bottom. And the next step would be to go to reports. And the bottom option there, print, save, or publish reports. Now there are a couple of extra steps, unfortunately, because of the way we set it up. I had no idea this was going to happen. We know for next year, thankfully. So you can see which report you want to click on. The scoring rules summary, I never include. Participant listing, I untick because that just lists everyone with their email, I think, or it's pointless. Current standings, that one's important, and I do all of those. Then entry picks listing, that's fine. Analysis by team, that's fine. Upset analysis by round, that's good. The bracket style printouts is there, but you just might as well not click it because I promise it won't work. I've already tried it several times. Then the possibilities by entry is now available that they're in the Sweet 16. By name and by most possibilities, I have ticked. The by displayed sort isn't working with this setup for either of those, so just leave those blank. And after we get, I think, to the Elite 8, or Final Four, I'm not sure, maybe the Elite 8, this possibilities by scenario report, which is now gray, will be available to report on. So, something we have to do this year, because of the way I set it up, again, first thing we want is publish on the intranet. And then we click send reports to the web. Now, when I click this, because we're now doing scenarios, we've reached that stage of the bracket, it takes a few minutes to go through this. You'll see as it comes up, it's about to say, about to process 32,000 scenarios. Click on begin processing. Now, once you do begin, it's actually going to take about, this last time with 32,000 took me about 15-20 minutes. I had to leave the computer and do something else. So, you know, it's going to take a little while to do it. So, but that's just the way it is. So I just clicked X because I'm going to pretend I clicked that begin process and 20 minutes later it's done. It will then say it's done. You'll click OK. You then can X out of each of these, and it would have done all of them, published them to the intranet. Then what we have to do, an extra step, instead of just being done, is to click Save to File. And we also have to click here, Save Files for Manual Loading for the intranet. We have to unfortunately manually upload these. Then we click Save Reports. Now, after you click Save Reports, since you've already run the scenario a minute ago in the Publish on the intranet, you don't have to run the scenario again. When you click Send Reports, it'll just take a minute this time instead of 20 minutes. However, in this demo here, because I didn't do the publish, because when I did the publish on the intranet, I didn't run the scenarios because it takes so long. If I tried to do Save Reports, it would make me do it. So instead, I'm just going to remove the possibilities by entry to show you what the next steps are like. But under normal circumstances, when you're doing this, you would go to the publish on the intranet web, you'd have this ticked, you do the Save Reports, it'd take like 20 minutes to do, and then you'd go here, save the file, save this file, and you'd have everything ticked, and you click Save Reports. So this will just take a second because the other reports are really quick to generate. They all kind of just pop up here after a minute. And again, I'm going to be in Miami on Thursday night, but I land at about 10:30 p.m., so I'll be available by phone on Thursday night. On Friday during the day, I really will be at this festival, so it's really shitty internet, so and just signal overall, so I probably won't be able to receive calls. So the best way to contact me is probably through text. And I don't even know how that's going to work. But I'm just saying Thursday I'll be all available. So if you have any problems with this, updating the games on Thursday night, I'll be here. So after you save them, it tells you that they've all been saved, and you click OK. And it's saving them to a place on my desktop called 2014. It's just a folder right there. And you can see what's happening here. We have a few different files here. Some of them say BNCAAM, so basketball NCAA men's dash, and then whatever the file name is, and some of them are unknown. So basically what it's doing, the last ones, basically the software requires you to type in BNCAAM dash before on the file name in order for it to load properly. So the unknowns are the ones we just created because we haven't manipulated them. The BNCAAMs are the last ones I used the last time I updated this. So what I'm going to do is, for every BNCAAM, I'm just going to delete it. Literally click delete on my keyboard and click yes. For each of them, there's about 6, I think. 6 or 7. Or 8 maybe now. There's more with each round, obviously, because we have new reports available to us. And then there's one file in here that always is here, Tourney Trackers Report 2014. You can delete that one also. We don't need that. Right now there's 6, but that's because I didn't do the scenarios report because it takes 20 minutes, but normally I think there'd be 7 or 8 or 9 actually with the scenarios report, so you'd see 9 with the unknown here. So after we do that, we then go back into Tourney Tracker. We can click close here. We can close all this crap. And then we go to Tools, Set up and Maintain Pool Info on Intranet. And then we go to Log On to the Intranet. It's then going to launch Firefox. And it's not connected. Why? Maybe because I'm having Wi-Fi issues. Let me see. Hold on. I'm going to put the phone down for 1 second while I figure this out. It's actually because my Wi-Fi isn't working now this second, so just hold on a second. I'm going to leave this here for a second. I'm just going to fix my Wi-Fi. Or not my Wi-Fi, but plug it back in. I don't know if it's plugged in, maybe. There we go. It wasn't plugged in. Okay, so I'm going to just exit out of that. And let me just try to close this and again go back. Tools, Retrieve, Set up and Maintain Pool on Intranet. Then click Log On to the Intranet. Alright, it's going to launch Firefox, and this time it should work. Okay, so now what we do is view and maintain reports. The bottom one there. And then you see all of these that are here currently. We're going to click this Load Reports button. And we're going to go to Browse. Now and then it automatically is launching, because it's the last place I browse, the 2014 folder where these are the unknowns. If it doesn't launch here for some reason, you just know that this is a folder that's saved on my desktop, so you can always go to Desktop and find 2014. Anyways, so what you're going to have to do in order to upload these, it doesn't just take them with the word unknown. You literally have to go in and single click and rename each file capital BNCAAM. I think it's ridiculous, I know, but I'm literally going to take that then and copy. And I'm just going to single click, and then it highlights it, and then I click again, single click in the middle there, and paste it there. I'm going to do this for each one. I'm going to get rid of that, and paste it in there. Obviously, if I practice it with this at this point, it's just ridiculous, this process, and I can't believe this is a side effect of just entering it in to save a few minutes. Won't do it ever again. You have to make sure not to include the dash. There's a dash between BNCAAM and the name of the report. If you exclude that dash, it won't load properly when you try to load it. So then I'm just going to do that one. I'm going to basically choose each one. It says it can do 8 at a time. So if we have more than 8 this next round, which I think we will once we have the possibilities or the scenarios report, for these you would click Load Files. I'm not going to do that now because these are going to overwrite the files which I just had, and there's just no need to. But you click load files, it'd take a minute, and it would say it's done. And then what you could do if you had more than 8, because it only allows for 8 at a time, you could then go back and do browse and add the last 3 or however many there are left. And then you click load files again. After that's all done, there you can click view report list, and you'll be able to see the reports right here. And boom, and that's it. So that's it. I know it's a pain, unfortunately, but that's the process.